Hello guys, I've compiled the 20 coins. We're going to do the head this time, the obverse side of the coin, 2016s if you can see. I've put these arrows here so that you can understand. I could have used the mouse really, but it's better if you've got an idea of what to look for by arrows, I think, rather than trying to see my cursor. So that's why I've done it like that. The main thing for you to remember, one, again, I believe this is a scanned image from the site that I've taken it from. Two, this gap, you really need, because this is supposed to be a proof as far as I'm aware, you really need to take this gap into account. This is not a part of the criteria of fakes. The inner part would be, because that's just a security feature like there is on the £2 coin, with the same principle except for it's round. The whole thing's round, the security feature on the £2 coin. Right smack bang in the centre. So you've got the pound symbol, which you can just about make out on here. Actually, it's dark. It's darker than the rest of the coin. If you see it, it goes up, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 reeds, if we're going to call them reeds, but they're more like lines. That's 5 up, and then they come out here, making the actual one, like Thunderbird one. And that's, I think that's 5 as, no, it's 4. It's 4 out. So you just about can make it. I don't know whether any of my coins show it up in the photographs. I haven't looked, to be honest. So without the arrows, can you now see the one a bit better? And this is the pound sign we use here in England and Europe, whereas America uses the hash key, which is 2 strokes up, 2 strokes across. And they call that the pound sign, which is typical American, totally wrong. But it has its history. So remember this gap. Actual fact, I don't even know whether that's the same gap as the one before. Yeah. It's close. Anyway, so here we go. The first 4, I'm afraid, is because I was trying to get the security feature to be obvious, and I was trying different types of lighting. So that's why, unfortunately, these are like this. So you're not going to get much from here, but you can just make out there that the prong of the crown there is up onto the outside. That's what they call a planchet. There's a big gap between the trunk and the neck and the edge of the coin, the inner coin, to the outer coin. There's quite a big gap there. That's why that's there. You can tell that this security feature is right on the border of the outer coin to the inner coin. I've seen a few, not a lot, I've seen a few that actually do go planch it the other way onto the inner coin. But anyway, that's another story. Take note of the writing. You can see it on this one. It starts off close to the inner coin, and then as it goes around, it moves away. It's a bit like a flipping moon. It is. It's a bit like a moon. It moves away. And then sometimes it's the other way round. The whole name, Elizabeth, is close to the edge, and then it's this that goes away and comes back. It's sort of like this as it is, because this has, if you take that, how close that is to the edge of the outer coin, it's small compared to the rest. So I will repeat the same. There's no tip of the crown. I don't know what they call that prong. It must have a name. These prongs must have a name. There's none there. The lettering is not as drastic with the Elizabeth. You can still see that it's in here and starts moving outwards and comes round in a pretty much same way as the last coin. You can't see the pound. There is a tiny gap between the security feature and the edge of the silver coin. The trunk is where it really should be. You shouldn't see anything there, okay, and you shouldn't see anything here. But as I did with the other side, the reverse side, there's something to do with, and the Britannias, the £2 Britannias, there should be a post on the £2 Britannias. It's the same thing. If there's something wrong with either that or that means that this is going to move, and that probably the wording is also moving because of the same reason. But this time it's perfect. So now you've got to wonder, well, why does the writing change? Well, that's a good question, and one I can't answer. But it can only be done in the strike, which means that these coins do not sit properly when they're being struck. Now, it's unfortunate that I've done this with the lighting, because that here and that there, that's a blob of metal that's run. Okay, there's your blob and it's run. This here is what they call a double head. It's where there's a strike issue and it creates a double head, a ghost, if you like. You can sort of make it out. I won't concentrate too much here because you won't see it in these four. Now here you see this has moved away, and here you see this has moved closer to the rim. That has not risen. Now, the reason I'm going to tell you that's not risen this time is because the coin, the inner coin, has seated inwards. So the strike has, the bit that would normally be up on the outer coin has sunk with the coin sinking. See, this is level, and in that casts a shadow because it's not. That's in, so it's being hidden. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. No problem with the trunk of the neck, no runs, no doubles, but I have covered that, I'm sure. This one is fairly consistent. It's a good way of doing it because you can see the graduation in how these happen. And look how close these are now to the edge. This is all due to the striking process. Nothing to do with forgeries. That's the striking process. This is the rubbish that we're being dealt out to use. They don't care. So how you're supposed to determine a fake coin that's what does matter. Because if you can't determine that, the security feature, then how are you supposed to determine all the rest of the coin? because the security feature's not there. So what is that? Is that a fake, or is it the strike, as some other person keeps mentioning on my site, talking rubbish? He hasn't got no idea what he's talking about, or she's talking about. Again, we've got the same issue. This has risen very slightly. Like I say, I apologise for the pictures. And there again, you can see with the security feature, it's right up onto the inner coin. Now, the next lot should be normal in picture quality anyway. Now, can you see where the coin has risen this time? This side has risen. So again, the top of the crown prong is missing. But this time, you can see it's dipped this side. Simply because of the shadow. That's what gives it away. That's where the coin has dipped. So that is a strike issue. That is right. That is a correct term for it. Look here where the security features moved away from the rim of the outer coin, and you can see quite clearly there, or you would do if you had the coin in front of your face, the neck has risen up onto the outer coin. That's called a planchet. When the inner coin moves up over the other, or if something is in a place where it shouldn't be, that's a planchet. Or at least that's my understanding of a planchet. You'd have to look it up on the web. So this one, Elizabeth, is damn near correct all the way round. And it's only here do you see the reg, the F and D move away. Okay? But that is what a coin collector wants to see with an error or a mistrike or whatever you want to call it. A coin collector, that means something. It's special. Let's move down to the next one. There you go. Again, you've got a run of metal which turns into blobs on the neck. You can't get away from this fact. There's the gap between the prong. You can actually see the gap. That is a total prong. Begging your pardon, it is a total prong. This has not risen, but you can see that the tip is not there. It's missing. The tip hasn't risen onto the coin this time. It's not there. That tells you yet again that this has dipped. Because if it isn't there, it's got to go somewhere, hasn't it? So if it's not there, it's got to have been dipped. The coin's got to dip for it not to go anywhere. And that's why you've got a nice prong there. Because you can see that it's risen. That lettering is perfect. That's how it should be. Or it might even not be there now. It's changed position from being a little bit wider there and going into what should be the proper position. So all these things tell you little parts of the coin that are wrong. Okay? So I've covered that. You can't see it. And covered the wording. They're the 4 parts. Okay? It's the next one. And again, we've got it again here. And again, this is, I think this is what you call a proper seat coin. The prong is in, and the neck, if it's not in, that's very fine, a very fine miss, because that's near enough how it should be. I often think, is it where the coin has moved either side? And what I mean by that is it's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain it because it's seating pretty well. But again, you've got this going in and out. You can see it again quite clearly that this side is now away from the inner coin and it comes in to the coin. That can only happen in the strike. I can't give you technical words for it because as far as I know, there isn't any technical words for it. It's just crap minting. Here's another one. I think that one does slightly rise. I think it does. I can't be sure. Even with the coin in front of now, look how close this wording is now to the edge. So that's telling you if that should be over there, if this should be up, then there's got to be something wrong with this side. And if you look at it, this side is miles away. Miles away. Okay? That's miles away from where it should be. The security feature is, and the reason I'm saying that has slightly blanchetted is because this is sitting right here and then this is moving away from where it should be. I mean 2016, that's not where it should be. It should be away from the coin. If keep referring to the proof image that I've shown you. If you don't believe me, just keep referring backwards to that because I'm going to keep going round and round in circles here. I'll just be explaining it all the time. Look at that. That is horrendous. I'm surprised it didn't knock the JC out. But there again, here you can see that the coin has risen. The inner coin has risen. And that this is a strike issue. And again, you're probably going to see that there's a slight planchet there. I mean, you can see there's something going on anyway. Because this time, the whole of the security feature has moved outwards. If you like, it's all aesthetics. And once you see the date, how far away that is now. Yet this is quite close. The wording of Elizabeth is quite close. There's something in my mind, because I've not been able to show you a washout, where it's usually on the silvers, the 5 and the 10p. It can't happen on the 20p because there is no way that can happen because they're flat. The whole thing is flat. So if there was any liquid release, it's got no barrier to stop it from going anywhere. So the 20p doesn't suffer from it. But anyway, that's a different thing. That is grossly a strike error. That is a blob of metal that's just moved and got pressed out. So that's that. This is perfect. Now this is perfect. You can see the tip is right on the spot. The security feature, it's slightly off, but that's really where it should be. It's tiny. But look at this writing now, how close Elizabeth is to the edge of the outer coin, or to the inner coin, whichever way you want it put to you. No metal runs this time, no signs of doubling. This is a perfect coin near enough. All bar, and really, it's hard to define, but I would say that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that's our first near coin. No sign. We haven't seen one yet where the coin illuminates the pound sign or the 1. Not one have we seen. And we're now down to 11. So that's 9 coins. This coin's in a pretty poor state. again, you're seeing it being where it... Oh, first, hang on a minute. There's the first thing. Here's a doubly. This is what they call a double head. It's when you get this outer line around the head. And it comes right round. Normally it comes right the way round, up into the neck, down, and then around here. This has got two blobs like this. There, you can see two blobs, but it's just that the camera hasn't caught it, where it would shine like that, because it's in it's on a vertical line, not a lateral line. As like I say, as you can see there, it's not really illuminated like it is here. Another gross one. So these are, I've not picked these from another pile or anything like this. It's the same 20 coins. Okay. The point of the neck has now risen away, or it's moved away from here. The security features right on the edge. That should have a gap. The prong is just there. Can you see it? It's just. We're talking about minute things, but they are visually aware. This is just a blow up from a camera. And again, same thing. Close right in there to the edge, moves away, comes round. Even the date is close. So I'm not counting, but you count them with what you can see. Really close to the edge. Really close to the edge, coming away again. Same thing. Now don't forget, I'm not here to prove the Royal Mint wrong. But what I'm saying is, my whole purpose of doing this is because we were given a load of old gumph about proof coins being as near good, pardon me, near good as normal coins. Normal coins, not proof coins, normal coins that were in circulation. That was the criteria. Normal coins. And you can find, if you look on YouTube, you can find videos of the Royal Mint actually saying this, specialists saying this, that the fakes were as good as these supposed new secure coins with their security features. If you can't see what's that on that security feature, that must be a fake. Doesn't it not work? Does that not make sense? Just like you do with you see the pound symbol on that proof coin. Maybe there's a way that you can do this with light. I don't know. I suspect not, because the coin is now 19 years old. These are very thin lines. They're not even like reeds. You can tell that they've sort of near enough gone. They've near enough gone. These coins should be taken out of circulation. That's what the Royal Mint should do if they had any common sense. They should take these coins out of circulation, because it's disgraceful. It's an insult to the people that use the coinage. It makes a mockery of the whole thing. It's no wonder China done it. Again, wording going outwards from inwards, date close to the edge. No problems with the actual round part of the Queen's head. This, again, slightly off, because that's slightly moved off. And here is an example of where the security feature has planchetted onto the inner coin. Do you see it? Do you see that? That is where this has moved onto the inner coin. Now, if you followed my posts, you will know, and I've proved it, that there are coins in proof sets, whether they've been doctored or altered or whatever, taken from another set to put into another, such as a BU coin, which they think they can pass off into another set. I don't know. I can only put the seed of thought into your head. This is nothing to be proud of. I'm just sick of it. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm sick of it. And I'm coming to the end, really, because there's no point in me. This is the real proof that you need to what I've been going on about. And like I say, if you go to the coins with the inscription around the edge, you will see diabolical errors. This coin you don't. The £2 you will. The old £1 round coins that didn't have the 12 sides, they had some of them had inscriptions. Not all of them. Some of them had inscriptions. You can look all that up if you want. I wouldn't bother, because that's not what I'm trying to prove. But that is a classic planchet, and it's the reverse planchet, because it's not the inner coin moving up onto the outer coin. It's very rare. It really is very rare for the inner coin to move onto the outer coin to move onto the inner coin. I don't even know whether I've seen it on the £2 coins. I really don't know. I can't remember, to be honest. Anyway, so there you go. Now, that is in, but no gap. There should be a gap here. Where that shine is, there should be a gap, and there's not. Now, here's a perfect, what I consider to be a perfect inline wording of Elizabeth. Sorry, it's my finger as I'm dragging on the mouse. And actually, it's near enough all the way round. So this coin, I've got to say, all but one bit, well, maybe 2 bits, this and the security feature. So 2 little things let this coin down. 2 little things. This here, the writing you can see here, this is £1, and I think it's 24 times. I think it's double the sides. And if you look at it, yeah, it's probably 24. £1, £1, 2 £1 to each segment. So this is really quite a good coin for 19 years of age. This is pretty good, because you can actually see that. I don't know whether you would distinguish it not knowing that says £1, but once you know it says £1, you get the drift. Very rare. Very rare. And not forgetting, there's millions of these coins made. Millions. Now we got the security feature. That's right. That's probably what you would classify as right. That's not. That's not, okay? Nothing wrong with the head. The prong now you can see really evidently quite clearly set. That's where it should be. This, you need to see one in front of you where it's risen, not done by pictures, because it stands out a mile. But again, in this instance, the inner coin has risen here and dropped there. It is the guy that's going on about this. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but this is something he's talking about. It's a strike issue. This is a strike. Look, now look how far away it is. Now look at the coin that's the neck that's risen up. It's blanchetted. It's oh no, anyway. So like I say, you can replay this and you will know what I'm saying is true. You will know that. But look at this. £1. Hey, it's really good, isn't it? Can't hardly see the date they put in there. But you can see that. 19 years old. 19 years old. That's pretty good. So I don't blame your Royal Mint entirely. Now look at that one. Now you can read £1. And there's something, I've got a bonus for you because I found it again when I was looking online. But look, further away there, close there. So this is close and now it's moving away. That's really moving away. That's really moving away. So there you go. This is coin 3. Coin 2. Same old rubbish. I'm not even going on about the rim of the coin. I'm just not. But this is enough for you to go on. Nearly all the same. That's probably where it should be in actual fact. You'd have to look at that first image and see. Like I say, you can play this backwards and forwards and you can do what you like with it. But you will know what I'm saying is true. Now this is moved too close. So that tells you there's something wrong. That's all it does. It just tells you there's something wrong. Same thing again. This one looks quite good as well. The coin, the date is where it should be. Look at this though. This is the first sign of a double E that you can see where the light's catching the bits. See where it's catching the bits? That's not dust or anything. That's where the light is catching it. But that is totally obscene. Oh, there you go, look. You can see it. I just double clicked and it's blown up. There you go, there's a double E. There's a double E. It's where the metal is struck normally, but this is runs. The coin's got the runs. It's got diarrhea, a bit like the minting process. That's a great one to have in your collection. Absolutely brilliant. You can see that the gold of the outer coin has shifted onto the inner coin. Okay? This actually is in the wrong place for that to happen. Unless, of course, that is a reflection from the outer coin to the inner. That could be a reflection. And I'm not sure about it, to be honest. I'd need to get that coin out and relook at it. Unfortunately, I've bagged my coins up for going to the bank. Let's have a look. No, that's not a reflection. That is the coin has moved. But that then defies all logic. Defies logic, because if that's moved onto the inner coin, this should be really close. This should be really close here, like you've seen with the others. But it's not. There is something drastically wrong. Drastically wrong. It doesn't make sense. The only sense you can put to it is that both coins in the striking process move. So you're not only seeing it with the rim on the outer coin and these shift movements, you're now seeing it on two coins, the inner and the outer. But that is so obscene. That is, in any collector's eye, it's got to be worth money. because it doesn't happen on all the coins. It just doesn't happen on all the coins. Therefore, that is an extreme oddity. And like I say, it's not. You can't actually classify that as a double. The double, see it's all bitty. See, it's all bitty around here. The double should be actually a complete fine line around the whole head. So this really isn't actually a double. It's only the fact that I did this that I could see it. So actually, if I did this with all the coins, I'm trying to look at what the time is. This is going to go into two separate videos, so I'm going to allow it to happen. Right, that's the last coin. I just want to see. No. Hang on a minute. There it is. This is a leaflet, okay, that's in when you get a specific set of proof coins. And even then, I dare say it. I dare say it. That does not look right, does it? Does that look right to you? Oh, jeez, what? And this is their own printing guff. But this, I don't know whether they're trying to get you to understand. But that to me says this is the process. This is the process. This and that is not part of the inner and outer coin. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'd like to think I am. But if you take that as true, that is phenomenal. It can't be. I went through this when I saw it in the first time. This is not showing you how they're made, how the coin's made. I'm sure of it. It's an impossibility. That is so fine. It's unreal. Because you've seen it. The security writing is really hard to see. So it can't be. It just can't be. But when I saw this the first time, I was really awestruck with it. I thought, blimey, that's the first time I've been shown how the coin's been constructed. But I think the construction is being given to you with the designer in mind. I think that's what it's doing. I can't be sure. I don't know why they would do it otherwise. Oh, it's a brilliant uncirculated coin as well. So that's not even a proof coin. So why? Let's go there. Let's go there. Why would the Royal Mint produce this and not even show a proof coin? It's a brilliant uncirculated coin. So why would they do that? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Why? And that should put a sock in someone's mouth. A treasure of life, or treasure for life. Yeah, it's a treasure, all right. It's a treasure, all right. And it's a pity we can't blow that up. Actually, that looks like where that scan's been taken from. It looks very similar. Oh, jeez, what? No, please, no. Oh dear. So, Let's have a look at some of these blown up. Oh, this is... Oh, yeah, I know why. Hang on. Right. Here we go. Got to do it this way. And the reason I've had to do it this way, just so if you're thinking why have I done it this way, is because if you put just numbers 1 to 20 and then you do the other side, you've got to do something in front of it to stop it from, when you take the photograph, to stop it overprinting itself. So 1, if you did 1 on the reverse side, and then when I did this, put 1 for the obverse side, it would come up with, do you want to blah blah blah. So instead of doing that, when you're typing in the name of the file, you just put an O in front of it and not a 0. It has to be an O, because if you put a 0, that will do the same thing. It will just start asking you, do you want to do that? So there you have it. There is, and like I say, guys, I can't tell you that this is a proof. And trying to find a proof that you can be assured of online, a decent image of a proof you can be assured of online, is hard. I mean, I searched eBay for ages doing this. I got fed up with it in the end because I was seeing so many oddities in proof sets as well, that I just gave up. It just beggars belief. And also, just take that into account, what you can see there. Okay? I'm not even going to hint to you. You make your own minds up. Now, this is going to be a part 2 because we've gone over 35 minutes and I don't think this phone is coping. I hope it's not, because I've got a funny feeling you guys don't read the description when I post these, because I've given up with that, because it seems that you guys don't look at that part. You just look at the video. And I was getting bored with that, typing all that in, and it just wears you down in the end, because no one's leaving comments, no one's giving you feedback. All I'm going by is what I see on YouTube. Like I say, I can't remember how many followers. It was closer to 50. It's dwindled a bit now. It's gone down to about 30 something. And so I'm getting the feeling that I've passed my sell-by date. And my phone is beginning to give up. It's got to be to do with the connection between the cable and the phone, because it's just not it's not giving you the allow for that to happen, to transfer files. It says, do you want, when you put the lead into the phone, it asks you every time whether you want it to do that. Well, it's now more the other way. When you put it in, it just doesn't come up at all. So therefore, you're flicking between the folder to the phone all the time. It's a nightmare. But this phone is a dead phone anyway. I only use it as a camera. I don't use it for anything else. Oh, I could use it for music, but anything else, you can't use it. You can't put a SIM card in it, because that's where I buggered it up. I put the SIM card in, and apparently the card jumped out of its little slot. I didn't know that could happen, but They did try to put it right, but it sounded like that the card had damaged the inside. I would assume that what they were saying is that where the 4 contacts are on the card, they had been probably scratched or whatever, and it had caused for that part of the phone not to work, the SIM card tray. And if you'll see them flickering, that's my Christmas lights. I got my Christmas lights up, and yeah, there you go. So there's the two together. So this is a better image than that. That you can tell is definitely a digital image. I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's a digital image. That's been taken from probably a book. This is slightly different, but it makes a if that was scanned on with a piece of white paper over it, that is why it could be such a brilliant scan, if it was a scan. I'm not sure, because everything seems to be so.